Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show, Wires. It's our week in review extended show, which is pretty much going to be a summary or a recap of everything that we've discussed, a short little collaboration of the week's discussions. So, this was supposed to be aired on the 23rd of August 2024. Fortunately, I did not get all of my notes in order. So, today for August 26, 2024, I'm going to be premiering our new weekly show called Wires. Again, it's an acronym, stands for Week in Review Extended Show. So some of the things that I didn't get a chance to bring up or additional thoughts, this is an opportunity for me to kind of reshare, repackage it, and put all the links in the description so you know where to find the podcast or video to understand what we've been talking about and keep up with it and stay up to date with the discussion points that we have. So for last Monday, the 19th of August, 2024, we talked about the film A Quiet Place Day One, and I gave a quick synopsis of the film and my thoughts and initial reaction. Highly recommend you check out the movie just so you can get a deeper understanding of where I'm coming from. Part of the concern that I brought up with this review is simply discussing, is this a spiritual battle? Are we really dealing with aliens, or are they more demonic? Why is it that when they were going through the subway tunnels, they ended up getting carried through some current of water, and when they found the surface, they ended up coming out and emerging from a church? There was another scene where a gentleman's doing a rescue mission, trying to get this cat back to the owner, a therapy cat, and it looks like they're in the pit of hell. So a lot of symbolism and spiritual topics, and also the reoccurring theme. The film was you weren't supposed to make any noise, you weren't supposed to talk. That's how the aliens and the enemy were able to find you. So considering about what's going on in today's society and how some people can be targeted for speaking up on sensitive issues, do you see any type of comparison or similarities to that as well? So again, A Quiet Place Day One was for our Monday spiritual and social causes discussion. So Tuesday was our business and tech talks, and that was coming from the 20th of August. And I was comparing the genders, male and female, who's better built for business, what are the pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses of each gender. And I did not focus too much on the actual business and running a business, the pros and cons, and again, the strengths and weaknesses between the genders. So I think I'm going to do a follow-up and a future date talking about that. But one of the other points that I failed to mention was another layer to this, considering, is it even really a good idea to have male and female people, personnel, working in close proximity if they are not married? So that's another thing to consider. I'm going to throw another monkey wrench in there, food for thought. I think married couples make the best business partners, just in my opinion. I don't have the personal experience, but what I've observed from other couples who are running family businesses and who have been very successful at them. And I also give a lot of praise and credit to female entrepreneurs and business owners, especially if you're not married, if you've gone through the college thing and all of the training that goes into it, trying to raise a family. It's a lot of work. Then also the aspect of if you are a parent as well, raising children and working and going to school, a lot of credit and props to you guys. So we will, I think, do a follow-up discussion, Battle of the Sexes in Business, in the future. So that's what we talked about last Tuesday. For Wednesday, it was our well-being discussions with Genesee Nutrition. And I'm going through the book called 8 Master Lessons of Nature by Gary Ferguson. And this is talking about bringing actual science, the expertise, the things that we've discovered, scientific discoveries, comparing it and taking it alongside with indigenous spirituality, the wisdom from that, comparing and coming alongside and studying it together, what we've been able to observe physically and what we've been able to observe spiritually, and how we're all connected And he brings up a really good point that oftentimes we think nature is outside and we are in here and we're separate, failing to realize that we are nature, we're interconnected, and the beautiful aspect of introducing mystery. And that is how we solve some of our greatest problems, is by having a sense of mystery. So I'm still in chapter 1, but I wanted to give you guys an introduction about how wonderful and inspirational the book has been to me thus far, and how it really coincides with our mental and physical well-being, nature, and connecting with it, and what we can learn from the science as well as from the indigenous wisdom that has been going on for all of mankind. Thursday, I did the 8 core pillars and principles of our grassroots present reality, which is what part of this show is an extension of. This is the social media outreach. This is showing the inner workings. This is the backstage, behind the scenes of what it really means to bring this to life. This is the battleground, the foundation, the infancy. This is the collaborative effort. This is the learning journey. This is, you're watching everything happen authentically. This is why I titled the entire series, the podcast, the YouTube videos, everything on Substack and Facebook, as the tour guide, because I'm new to this. I started this whole, you would call it enterprise, this whole umbrella, back in 2012. That is when I believe the Holy Spirit inspired me to write my notes, the initial notes, the slides that I keep showing, even the original idea. All of this came back in 2012. And I've been working on it and expounding, putting it away, bringing it back out when I have more information and more life experience. So now we are in the actual building up stages, starting up the businesses. We're still doing research, still networking, and trying to help other people as well come up out of these ideas that they're having in their head, and investing their time, energy, and resources into bringing to life whatever it is their passion. One of the things that I did leave out in the 8 core pillars, I'm going to go ahead and read them off for you so you know what they are. So our first one is community and diversity initiative. And that's where we focus on what your talents are, what your passions are, your hobbies, your interests, your vocation, what it is that you want most out of life, the things that make you who you are, bringing that to the forefront, not focused on your gender, not focused on your ethnic background or your race, focusing on who you are at the core of your heart, what you want to do with it, and what you want to present to the world, your reality through your efforts, through what you're doing. And we can just forget about all the things that divide us and find the things that connect us. There are other people who have other passions and talents and interests, and let's bring that to attention and focus on that so we can just work together as people. And then the next one is aside. This is more specifically the how do I put it? I guess I don't want to use the word money, but this is the aspect of the money making. It's called Stepping Stones, Crafts and Trades with a Purpose. And this is the networking support also. So this is the actual physical networking collaborative effort, where you take your completed projects and then you make that your source of income. And you get together with other people who are already building and creating, and then that's when you launch and initiate things. If you're a jewelry maker, if you do any type of woodworking or sewing projects, these are the things where that is the next step. That's why it's called Stepping Stones. So we'll get more into that as well, because there's a lot of also therapeutic benefits to creating things and supporting each other. So another day I'll spend some more time going into deeper detail. Number 3 is the justice, community, and self-sufficiency resources and ICEs in case of emergency. And then justice, supplemental support systems, and that has the New Heaven and Earth herbals, and as well as water filtration and beverage and juice making and health foods, but also getting people to become more community or self-sufficient, learning how to be self-sustainable, creating your own food, your own resources, your own shelters, and supporting people who want to gravitate towards that. Not having to be so heavily reliant on a conventional job for your income, being able to live comfortably with less and be sustainable. So those are some goals we're working towards if anyone's interested in that. So that's what that's about. Number 5, housing, shelter, and care centers. And that's really where we have to be very community center oriented. People who are being rescued or delivered or coming out of domestic abuse or violence, as well as trafficking, emergency housing, maternity hotels, helping people with disabilities or people who are elderly and need assistance, people who really just need to have community around. Some people are better off and that being around other people, they thrive. We're social creatures and many people do need the support of others, and for whatever reason they can't get a conventional job. This is where we would like to fill in. So I did mention this in the stream that we did on Thursday last week, but one of the issues that needs to be addressed is the shelters, and that's where we're going to try to collaborate with women's and men's shelters and connecting them to animal shelters. Therapeutic for both the animals and the humans who are needing the support. So that's one of the goals and objectives. And then I also failed to mention, I forgot, with the stepping stones, crafts, trades, as well as the supplemental support. This is also to help people with work. And when the market's tough, if you have a criminal record, again, if you have a disability, if there's a reason why you're struggling to find work, if you're elderly and people don't want to hire you for whatever reason, with the whole Present Reality enterprise, the whole concept is to help people to live and survive and to help them with employment, with job training, with learning new skills, with being able, again, to simply survive and live. That's why it's important that we support one another and try to create jobs and work for people. And again, it's learning skills. If you have a hobby that you want to use one day as your potential source of income, an alternative type of work or income, there you go. This is what we're trying to do. So going on though to number 6, courses and resources. Again, all of it kind of overlaps, but we need to give people education. We need to give people training skills. We need to give people the information and resources. So this is what this is at. So number 6 would be courses and resources. Number 7 is vice networking, and that's for cultivation of people's different types of, again, vices, whether it be alcohol or cannabis or other things. I'm sure you guys know what a vice means. Of course, as long as it's done respectfully, sustainably, and people are safe, there's conversations that can be had about that and more information to come in the future. And then the last one, but also always the first one, the foundation is what I call it. That's why it's on the bottom, but it is the foundation, and it is the religious hub or religion hub. Personally, many people know that I am a Christian, but let's be realistic. I don't expect everyone to be a Christian. You have your faith background, your faith of understanding. So as long as everyone is just focused on truly loving one another and positivity and the light and good vibes and not causing harm to others, we're all on the same page. The United States Constitution is based off of the same basic principles. You have the freedom and right to believe and do what you want to do. The thing is that you can't threaten people's life, their safety, and their well-being. And we're not here to steal or take anything from anyone. We're here to give in and build up and uplift. That's the objective. And I think the universal law is essentially just do no harm, and we're always here to love and show love to one another. So that is a quick summary of what we talked about this past week, Monday the 19th through Thursday the 22nd. So every Friday we're going to have this weekly show called Wires, Week in Review Extended Show. So with that, I will leave you up in your host, Jenna Kirasoa. At any point in time you're consuming this, I can only hope you're doing well. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. As always, God's peace.